in arena games. I've seen it in taxes. I've seen it in just when we speak. The age, like maybe the age thing comes to play too, because for instance, she might be trying to scold me when she's correcting me, and she forgets like she's talking to a man as well. Like, I'm not your kid. She'll be talking to me and she'll be like, shh, like, yo.
Let's now specifically look at Sheba and Tram's back and forth. It looks like they are dragging each other, but is there any proper reason for dragging each other? I would say yes, like probably. Let's first look at let's first look at Sheba's part of the story. So from the last week, from last night, his live nominations, it was more like a face-off to them, because these people have been going into the diary room, lying to themselves, then coming back and pretending in the other people's faces who they call their friends. But then this time Big Brother said, hey, I'm showing it to you guys. So coming out of that place, like literally, they had to read the papers. I'm not gonna lie, Sheba did not see it coming. Sheba thought, okay, it was going to be a usual thing, but then, they had to read the people, the people they nominated to be saved, like literally. Who did Sheba save? Sheba saved Godessa and Blue, like literally. And who did Tram save? Tram saved Sheba and Barry. So now that is where the problem is. That is where the problem is now coming from. This is where now Tram feels like Sheba has done dirty to him, like literally. And what is Sheba's explanation of this? So, looking at last week, I think probably on a Saturday, Tram was asking for a voluntary exit, and that is when people were comforting her. Sheba was crying, talking about, Tram is not thinking about her coming out of all this, and asking for a voluntary exit. So for Sheba, in his nomination, Sheba is trying to make literally excuses, because I really want to believe that Tram's reason is valid, like very, very valid. And Sheba is talking about it looks like Tram is already tired of being here, so he does not see any reason of trying to save him, like literally, if he does not want to be here. So why were you crying last Saturday if you knew he wasn't supposed to be here, or you convinced this person to be here, and now you're literally not trying to save this person to be here, like literally? Anyway, with her, she says, maybe Tram is tired of being here, so she has no reason of wasting, her vote or her chance of nominating. She would rather nominate people who want to be here, like literally. And another reason for Sheba feels like Tram is the gambit, and he feels like, okay, saving him or without saving him, he's strong, like he will stay. Like he feels like he's the gambit on the way he has been moving, so there is no reason of saving him, like he's safe, like literally. And another part, there is something about Sheba. For Sheba, if you look at her, yes, even though she wants to believe that Tram is the gambit, even though she wants to believe that Tram is strong, even though she wants to convince herself, like literally, Tram is tired of being here, if he had asked for a voluntary exit. What do I have to say about this scenario? I would say whether Tram asked for a voluntary exit or not, whether you feel like Tram is a gambit, or whether you feel like he's very strong, was that a stronger reason, to betray your friend? Like literally, I would say no. What do I think of Sheba? I think with Sheba, she's playing her game. The moment she sees that for you, you're reluctant, she will move on to the next stronger person. What do I mean? I feel like, okay, Sheba thinking that Tram is a gambit feels like Tram is relaxed now. He feels like Tram is not, like he has no pressure for being evicted. He feels like, okay, Tram is here to stay. He's not going anywhere. So for her, Tram is reluctant. So she needs to move on and make another alliance that is looking at, and is looking at how do we stay in the house. That is how Sheba feels. He wants to be around people who are all into the game. I'll give you an example of Sheba and chimsom chuka. If you look at the friendship between Sheba and chimsom chuka, it is giving, I will hold myself unto a stronger person. That is Sheba, like literally, because she's here for the game. She knows how this game is running. So with Sheba, it feels like she will hold herself onto a stronger person. That is how I feel about this Sheba moving to chimsom chuka. Then another part, I feel like the same thing that joined Sheba and Godesa is simply because Sheba feels like Godesa is like Godesa has a stronger personality. I'll give you an example. In the first week, Sheba wasn't friends with Godesa, but then after now hearing conversations, after people talking about, Godesa is smart, Godesa is this, she felt a need to be Godesa's friend. I feel like that is how they got to know. If you listen to her diary sessions when she's talking about Godesa, she'll always be like, Godesa is a strong woman, so a strong woman needs the other strong woman, or this. And I'm like, okay, so this is how she moves. For her, it's all about the game. And her reasoning is also maybe at some point, I would say 50% valid, because they're here for the game. If she feels like, okay, I need to attach myself onto this person because this person has a stronger personality, well and good. I feel like the friendship of Sheba and Godesa is simply because Godesa was being, like, people are talking about, Godesa is a smart person, Godesa is this, Godesa is that. Like, literally, that is how many of these people are praising Godesa during the first and second week. Then with Chimsom Chuka, I feel like, okay, she feels like Chimsom Chuka has a strong personality, or I would say Chimsom Chuka may be strong, like literally. Chimsom Chuka is a competitive person. So to her, she feels that, okay, she needs Chimsom Chuka to continue pushing, because for her, it is about the game. And if you look at the other people, I feel like Sheba will attach herself to Temi because she feels like Temi is a funny person and she knows people who like Temi, like literally. To me, in all these people in that house who are Sheba's friends, it looks like Sheba had to collect, be like, okay, what am I getting from every person I call my friend? And I'm not gonna lie, that is being strategic. And yes, it is helping her. If she's playing her game, she's playing it right. She feels like she's getting, a lot from everybody. And also, I'll also say Tram. Because Tram being a Gen Z, I think Sheba felt like, okay, people outside, most people of this show, or most people who like watching the show, may be the Gen Z. So she felt a need of attaching herself to a Gen Z, like literally. And I'm gonna say, Sheba is playing her game right, which is not bad. Only that, okay, at some point she will throw the people under the bus. At some point, because she feels if you're her obstacle, she will let you down. She'll drop you and pick up another strong person. And I don't think it is bad. Like literally, it is not bad. But she needs to remember that the humans, like literally, in the house. And also, guys, let me also talk about the way she feels like people, or the way she feels like Tram is now ganging against her. Is Tram's reasons valid? Like, yes, his reasons are also valid because they've been friends from week 1 up to, week 5. And now Sheba, I don't want to say, I do not want to make, Tram look like he's very, very valid. But I would also say, if Sheba is willing to play the game the way she's willing to play the game, she shouldn't be complaining that somebody is now ganging against her. I feel like she should now be like, okay, this is how I'm playing my game. She should also expect other people to play the game in a different way. So for her, if she's choosing to drop some people and grab stronger people, she should also let Tram behave or play his game the way he wants to, play his game. Now, not going back and wanting to make Tram look like, the bad person. After now instigating, projecting, he's the gambit, or he's this, instead of being in the house. And which now Tram is telling us, he wants to see through the season. He wants to be there. At this point, I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. It came to me as a shock. It felt like, okay, Sheba is here for the game, which is okay. I'm not saying it is bad. It is not bad. It is okay. But then at some point, it broke, Tram's trust, like literally. I'm not, like, I feel like with Sheba, she must be getting something from you to be her friend, or to be in her alliance. That is how it feels. Because if you look at this alliance they have formed, Sheba, I would say Sheba, Godesa, Chimsom Chuka, Blue, and Blue and Temi. I would say Temi is someone they're adding, but then they're not sure. What is she getting? You can see that she needs something from every other person. So every person in that, space, she will be friends with someone in that house if she knows you're adding something onto her in part of the game and all this. Anyway, I don't know how you people feel, but then these people are ranting. Everybody is going around. And now let's look at Tram's part of the story. For Tram says, from day one, she felt like she had Sheba's back. From day one, Sheba's been his friend. Sheba's been his best friend. Sheba's been, like we've seen Tram talk about, Sheba plays the mommy part. Sheba plays the girlfriend part. Sheba plays, most of the characters like you would want in a person, Tram felt like he's finding everything in one person who is Sheba. And he felt like he owes Sheba his loyalty. And now, coming to these nominations and they did not pick him, he felt like Sheba is playing him. That he feels like, okay, Sheba definitely broke that loyalty. And now it is something that he's ranting about. We've seen him, make his media rounds around the house, in the kitchen, in the garden, everywhere. Tram is making his media rounds about Sheba. And is it okay? Or what is his reasons for these media rounds? Let's also have to look at them. It's because we've seen Tram rant to the housemates. We've seen Tram gather his own, our media rounds. Because we've seen Tram talk about Sheba in the garden, talk about Sheba in the main lounge, talk about Sheba in the kitchen. It looks like for today, all the conversations he has been holding, all the conversations, or they're all about Sheba. And what would I say? I would say Tram is simply hurt. I feel like Tram's ego, Tram feels so betrayed, feels like, oh, Sheba played dirty, like literally. I wouldn't say, yes, they like each other. I would be like, okay, they're best friends. They still have that part of friendship. But then he just feels betrayed and he feels hurt. That is why he went around, ranting around, talking a lot, having to say a lot about Sheba. And what did he say? So to Tram says, okay, the whole of this week, he has had some energies about Sheba. I would say fake energies about Sheba. And he says he trusts his instincts. And the whole week he felt like he needed to test Sheba. But then, Tram, did you? That at some point I feel like, oh, now after all this happening, Tram, you feel like you need to feed your ego, telling us, oh, the whole week you've been wanting to test Sheba. But it is what it is. Let's look at what he said. So with Tram, he said the whole week he has been having his guts. His guts have been telling him he needs to test Sheba. Sheba is a fake person, or this or that. And at the moment, he wanted to use this week to test Sheba. But then Big Brother came up with his nominations. And he said, okay, he was going to nominate Sheba so that Sheba does not have any reason to be like, okay, you did not nominate you, I did not nominate you, problem solved. To him, he wanted to put Sheba in her own trap. And it worked for him, just like he said, because Sheba nominated Godesa and Bluetopia. And I'll be like, okay, Tram is hurt, like so much. Why? Because Tram feels like from day one, like it has been Sheba. It has been Sheba from week 1, week 2, week 3, up to week 5. So he did not see any reason for Sheba to betray, him. And to him, he says, okay, it looks like now Sheba is more friends with Godesa, than him. And he takes us back to a conversation they were having with Ricky, where Ricky had asked, our Tram that if or in case Sheba is asked to choose between Godesa and Tram, and Ricky said Sheba was going to choose Godesa over Tram, and Tram did not want to believe it. But then come last nominations, or yesterday's nominations, it brought proof to everything. And that is to say, Tram is so disappointed. Tram says, oh, he treats loyalty like, okay, it is something big with him. He's a loyal person. He can never do something. Even when they're having a back and forth with a friend, if this person is loyal to him, he still, refunds the loyalty. So he does not see why Sheba had to do all that. And he went ahead to say with Sheba, it is about the game. So in case you try to obstruct her, like literally, she will put you down. And when he mentioned something like that, it felt like, okay, so since Tram was asking for a voluntary exit, it felt like Tram thinks since he was asking for a voluntary exit, that looked like an obstacle to Sheba, and hence, putting him down to now go for the other people. But then, is it? It could be, because Sheba is about the game. And another thing that disappointed Tram was the fact that Sheba, they said, oh, within the past weeks, oh, Sheba has been making weird moves. He says, oh, during the last week, or whenever they had presentations, and it is about hosting, Sheba always takes 80% and leaves you with a little bit. Hence saying for Sheba, it is about the game. It is nothing. And Tram treasures his friendship. Tram feels like when it comes to this show, the friendships are bigger than naturally the show. And with Sheba, she feels like the game, or her game, is bigger than the friendship. I don't know what you people think at this point, because Tram has a lot to say about Sheba. Or Sheba has fake energies, or Sheba is two-faced, or Sheba is someone who is about the game. In case you stand in his, in his way, he will put you down. He does not want any obstacle for the game. And he says Sheba is here to win the game, which is literally okay, because everybody is here to win the game. The reason as to why most of them auditioned or wanted to be on the show is to win the money. Yes, we want to talk about visibility, but then also I would say the main reason is to win the money. Go home with the money, But then with Tram feels like loyalty to him comes first. If you're his friend, you're his friend. He does not want to know about the game. If you're his friend, you're his friend. At this point, I feel like, okay, I understand where Tram is coming from. And I would say his reason is also valid because they've been together. They've been claiming, oh, bestie, which person in the house. Oh, Sheba's always been telling Tram how he has his back. And now coming to the nominations, and she did not mention Tram's name, or she did not write Tram's name. When he has been telling this person, oh, I got you, I have your back, or this on this. And Tram feels like he's betrayed because it looks like whatever Sheba was not doing, like he wasn't, like Sheba is not standing for whatever she has been saying. And that is to say, oh, she has his back. And to him, he feels, I'm not gonna lie, Tram is just so hot. There is, I don't want to say there is a reason to it. It feels like he does not hate Sheba. He likes Sheba, but he's hurt, like he's disappointed, he's betrayed, or he feels like Sheba is playing dirty. But then is Sheba playing dirty? I don't want to call it dirty because they are all here for a game. Like it is a game. Sheba will do anything. If you try to be an obstacle, if you try to dismantle her game, like literally, it felt like when Tram was busy now asking for a voluntary exit, was kinda interfering with Sheba's game. Definitely, if you try, she will put you down. I'm not gonna lie. For Sheba, if you look at all her friends, just like I said, if you look at all her line of friends, she'll make sure she gets something from you. She'll only become your friends if she feels like, okay, you could help her in some way, or she could use you for the game in some way. And that is Sheba. And I'm going to give it to her because they're all here for the game. Like literally, it is a game. They're all here for the game. So I yes, Tram is disappointed, but it shouldn't be to 100%, should at least be to 50, because they're all here for the game. They're all here to play the game. I'm not saying Tram's reason is not valid. It is valid, but then he should remember it is a game. Now Tram is talking about, okay, let's play the game, even though they don't talk or this, and I'm like, okay. And it is, guys, something about Tram. There's something about Tram. I don't know why Tram is overly confident. He's talking about, oh, he can play this game, or if it, I'm like, okay, Tram is overly confident. Tram is somebody who feels like people like him so much. I don't know why. I don't know why he gets the confidence, but yo, guy is so confident. Even this fake, I think you can read that he's hurt from his face, like literally. All this ranting and all this, it is all showing the pain he's feeling, like literally. Even when he tries to laugh, or even when he pretends to wear a fake frown. Guy is hurt. Like, let's be real. He's so hurt. Oh, so now he's talking about, oh, for him is a wolf. He's going to put up his own. And then Sheba is a lion. Let them fight. He does not want them to settle. Like he does not want them to settle, the issues, or talk about, or address the issues. He wants them to fight. And he says, oh, for him is bigger this fight. But then is he? I feel like with Tram, it is about the confidence in speaking, but then coming to, hands on, I don't think, like literally. He will rant here, there, or he will tell everybody how Sheba is the bad person, because we've seen him talk to those of Ricky, those of Oyin and Flora, like very many people literally about Sheba. I think that is the only thing he can do literally, because the way he's ranting about Sheba, and the way now people, those of Yusuf, want to believe so, like literally. And guys, about Godesa, then let's also speak about Godesa, how Godesa comes in the scenario. When they were done with the nominations and now, Tram was ranting, like literally. Let's remember Godesa had issues with Araga. And now just because these people were down speaking and Araga was there, Godesa felt like there is a need to now go back to Araga, because these people were talking about, oh, they have separated, they're not going to talk. But then now, to know that Godesa is playing her game, just because Araga, she needed information from Araga about what the guys were talking about down in the main lounge. As for them, they had their meeting upstairs in the room. So Godesa went back to Araga to collect the information. And that is to say, Godesa is also using Araga. and went back to collect whatever the gentlemen were talking about to now bring it back, to her alliance. And the fact that Araga is playing, I don't want to call it stupid, to the fact that Araga cannot see that Godesa is using him, it is one of the worst parts. Because you cannot tell me you carry the information from your so-called alliance or your so-called what happened. I will first ask, what happened to boys being boys? What happened to the boycott? Because boys weren't like this. How do you carry the information from here up to this side? And for Godesa, I remember there was a part where Barry was trying to also get information, and Godesa told Barry straight away, she was like, I cannot tell you that. But then to see that Barry carried the whole information. So because of love, because of lust, because you want to be with this person since you're having this and this mommy and daddy situation, it is okay for Araga to carry information from the boys and come give it to give it to Godesa to use it. And I'm like, is this guy even normal? But anyway, it is what it is. If Godesa is playing her game, well and good, like literally. And guys, let's all give it to, Sheba, Godesa, and her alliance. For them now, it looks like with them, they are ready to play the game, like literally. They're ready to play, to have the alliances. But then they should also not forget, we the viewers are the ones that decide. For it looks like Sheba is now focusing more on the alliances in the house or on the immunity part, but then she's forgetting that we, the viewers outside, are the deciders of who goes out or who wins the show. I think now since she's now focused on the inside, she should also think about what the outside world thinks of her. Like literally, she should also I feel like she's, dropping that part, and I feel like she should also think about it. Anyway, with Tram, he's ranting here and there. So with Sheba, he's also, oh my God. I don't know what you people think about this Tram and Sheba, but I feel like if they can sit and settle, at some point I do not want them to, sit. I do not want them to address anything. Like, I want to see where it lands. I want to see if Tram's confidence, like the way he speaks, or he's the most liked, or he can make people in the house hate you, or he can do this, or he can play dirty, or he can do this, or he can do this. But then I really want to see him prove what he says, or if he can do it, or if he can do this, or he can do it. Because to him, it feels like, being a Gen Z, it feels like him being a Gen Z has helped him in many things, but then has it really helped him? I don't know what you people think. And I want to see how Sheba also plays, her game, like literally without Tram. And another thing, it feels like Tram at some point is kind of jealous. Because tell me why. Where is now Sheba's friendship with Kevo coming in this whole scenario? Because for him, I've seen him mention it in almost every conversation he has about Sheba, where he says, now after dropping him, he has now become close friends with Kevo. And let me take you back. Also, Kevo had promised us that he was going to get close to Sheba to hurt Tram. Is this thing work? It looks like now Kevo's game is kind of working, because literally in Tram's ranting is also talking about how Kevo is behaving with Sheba. At this point, I'm like, I want to remind Tram, you misbehaved with Kevo's friend who was Temi, and not because they are trying to move to Sheba, you're being hurt. Will Tram even survive in this whole game? Like literally, if you're already ranting, or if you're already showing the part of they've moved to Sheba, Kevo has made his move, like, is Tram even going to survive in this back and forth? I don't know what you guys think about this back and forth. Do you think Sheba was right not to to save Tram? Because for her, she has her reasons. At the same time, do you think Tram is doing too much by moving around, making his media rounds, talking about Sheba? In short, it looks like he's decampaigning Sheba amongst the housemates, talking about Sheba is the bad person in this whole scenario. Or do you think everybody is here for the game and everybody will play their game the way they want it to be? I don't know what you people think. And do you think they should sit and reconcile, be friends again, or you feel like everybody can do or can play their game without the other? Let me know what you think in the comment section. I love you so much. Thanks for watching. Bye.